Immediate past governor of Kaduna State in northwest Nigeria and a top member of Nigeria's newest political coalition, African Democratic Congress, Nasir El-Rufai, has been outstandingly vocal in his criticism of President Bola Tinubu's handling of Nigeria's national affairs. El-Rufai served his 2 terms as governor on the platform of the ruling All Progressives Congress before taking the decision to switch political allegiance on its own. APC has been responding to the former governor's criticism of the president in equal measure, sometimes accusing him of destabilizing national unity for personal ambition. Now I'm being joined here on Newsday by Dr. James Okoroma, who is chairman, Imo State chapter of African Democratic Congress, to discuss these incessant attacks on not just El-Rufai, but other key figures of the coalition as well by the ruling party. Dr. Okoroma, it's good to have you with us on Newsday.
Yeah, Professor Okoroma, Professor James Okoroma.
All right, correction noted. So what are your thoughts on what Nasir El-Rufai is currently going through?
Well, what is happening, this trend portends danger for our democracy. The trend of violence against opposition figures, not just against Nasir El-Rufai, His Excellency, former governor of Kaduna. It happened in Kebbi. The former Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, was attacked by hoodlums. In Lagos, Vivor, former governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 governorship election in Lagos, was also attacked. The latest victim of this trend is Malam El-Rufai. What is going on, I can tell you, portends danger for democracy. Because you see, there's something about violence. It is a tool that is available to everyone. That is, nobody has monopoly of violence. What happened in Imo, Owerri, was a clear attempt by certain elements to create problems for the country. I was there. There was a reception for him, which was, peaceful. A day after that reception, he attended the Odenibo lecture, which is organized by the Catholic Church. It was at that venue that hoodlums came in. I was there, and they invaded the venue. Then, thank God for the DSS and other security agents who came and ensured that there was peace and that he was taken out of the venue. So it is a dangerous trend, and if it happens in some other place, and then ADC supporters, if they decide to retaliate, what will happen? Then Nigeria will go up in flames. It is very important that leaders caution their supporters, and those who are behind this should know that it is not in the interest of Nigeria. It is antithetical to peace and the progress of this country. We need peace to develop as a country. And the whole essence of democracy and democratization is to bring about development. And if you don't have the orientation to subject yourself to democratic contest, that is when you see violence as a tool. And a lot of people have been saying that it is the ruling party, the APC, that has been responsible for this. The APC-led government has too many responsibilities to take care of. You can see our economy, how everything is going down. The people are, more Nigerians are in poverty now than before. The health sector is in shambles. You can see decaying infrastructure. You can see challenges of governance everywhere. I think they should concentrate and justify the mandate which they say they have. But to resort to violence is like a bad workman quarreling with his tools. They should be more concerned about what is going on in the country, the tribulation, the economic strangulation which Nigerians are facing. Professor, and these are the issues that should bother them, and not to attack opposition figures who are also patriots and Nigerians who are seeking for a new direction for the country.
Indeed, Professor Okoroma, if I may, very good. If I may interject, please, can you positively identify those who attacked ADC members during the Odenigbo lecture in Owerri recently. There are claims that they were APC members, but has your party members been able to identify and authenticate that that is true?
Let me tell you, the witch cried yesterday and the baby dies today. Who does not know is the witch that is responsible. I cannot tell you the figures behind it or the persons behind it, but it's actually from our own independent investigations. It is actually the handwork of the APC that is bothered about the growing influence, political influence of the African Democratic Congress. The hoodlums who came, from what we gathered, were even paid. I was there, buses were hired. Somebody paid for those buses. Somebody motivated those people who came. The placards they came with, they displayed, people spent money to procure those equipment they used. So I don't want to point at anybody, but we have investigated. There are people behind it. And let me tell you, Nasir El-Rufai is an important figure in the politics of Nigeria. For the East and North to come together. The whole essence was to, rebuild the East-North alliance. And Nasir El-Rufai, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, is a key figure in what is going on. To attack him in Igbo land is dangerous, not just for the East, but for the whole country. And we're grateful to the security agents who intervened and made sure that nothing happened to him. If anything had happened to him in the Southeast, you can imagine what would have happened. A key figure like him. And whether you like it or not, Nasir El-Rufai is one of those who are championing the cause of a better Nigeria. So attacking him or using violence as a tool against him is despicable, it's condemnable, it is reprehensible, and it's not an act we should encourage. This spate of violence must stop. And let me tell you, if you look at the Civil War, for instance, the remote causes of the war are traceable to what happened in the western region, Operation Wetia. The conflict between the supporters of late Chief Ladoka Akintola and the supporters of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And you remember the Operation Wetia. People were doused in fuel and burnt. That was what led to one of the remote causes of the Civil War in 1967. Even the January majors, if you listen to their speeches, alluded, made reference to the violence in the Western region, which they felt was a major challenge, a major threat to national peace and progress. And they intervened. So we don't want a repeat. We don't want history to repeat itself. This democracy is important to all of us. A lot of people have died protecting democracy. Mko Abiola paid the supreme price for this democracy we're enjoying. And I know that our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was a key figure in the movement for democracy in Nigeria. As a young reporter, I used to follow them with late Abraham Adesoya, Baba Omojala, Komi Sola Osobu, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti, Femi Falana. They were all champions. And the president, our current president, was in that class of Nigerians who withstood the military and gave us the democracy we're enjoying today. For anybody to want to wreck this democracy with violence, all Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of this country, patrons of this country, should rise against it, against violence, because we don't want history to repeat itself. We want a united Nigeria. We want a peaceful Nigeria. We want democracy. Democratization is in the interest of everybody. So once we democratize, we build our institutions. When you have strong institutions, you can defend the people, not strong individuals. Violence cannot help this country. Once we start it, nobody knows where it will end.
There shouldn't be any place for violence in this country, Professor Okoroma. Your point noted, and it should be a nationwide scenario. But let's look at issues from within. Nasir El-Rufai has also faced mounting criticism on the ADC structure in his home state, Kaduna, recently accused of trying to take over, the party structure that had already existed within his state without following due process. I'd like your take on that. So it's not just about outside attack against his person, but he still has issues to address from within.
very unfortunate. I'm an insider in this party. I know that most of those allegations you hear are actually sponsored by outsiders who are using puppets. They are puppets they have planted in ADC to cause trouble. You can't accuse him. He was a governor for 8 years. He built structures. He made human beings. He built institutions. Accusing him of hijacking ADC structures is a fallacy. I know what is going on. You don't hijack. There's a constitutional process. There's a constitutional means of taking over structures. You don't just hijack structures. You must follow a constitutionally prescribed means. We have a constitution. The ADC constitution prescribes how structures can be built, structures can be made. And what we have now is a coalition. A coalition, the implication is that more people have come in, more partners have come into the party, and you must ensure that those new partners who have come into ADC also have inputs in the composition of structures. So if he's making inputs into the composition, you cannot say he's hijacking. And it is not easy to hijack. Our party provides for structures down to polling unit level. I think the room is wide enough. The party has made provisions for all interests to be taken care of. So I do not think, and I won't subscribe to that allegation that he's hijacking structures. So if he wants to make inputs into the structures, is allowed. It's within the constitutional, within what is prescribed.
Very good, Professor Okoroma. Just because of time now, I want you to reflect on this briefly. How would you describe your party's inroad into the Southeast and, of course, Imo State, the Southeast in general, and how receptive is the electorate based on the coalition you're building? Briefly, please.
Well, the ground is ripe for change. The Southeast people are ready for change, and that is why they have embraced ADC. ADC is that platform for change, and the people are suffering. You go to the Southeast, you see scars of marginalization. When you look at our roads, look at our institutions, look at the high rate of unemployment, high inflation, you see that the ground is ripe for change. So the people have seen ADC as that vehicle for change. And then you see leaders who have joined ADC, who have made their names in different fields of endeavor. So in the Southeast, our people are ready. They have suffered much under the APC government, and they see the ADC as a vehicle through which they can improve their lot in the Southeast. And you see what will happen. We are working here. Our people have embraced us. Everybody is involved. Today, ADC is the largest and strongest political party in the Southeast. And historically, the APC hasn't been for the Southeast. Our people resist the APC. And all these so-called governments you have here have questionable beginnings. So I believe that ADC has come to stay. And that change that the people desire will be effected and realized through the ADC.
Professor James Okoroma, Chairman, Imo State Chapter of African Democratic Congress, would like to thank you for your time on Newsday.